to assimilate to a foreign culture, which included learning an entirely new language and working menial jobs in order to make ends meet. Instead of railing against their harsh reality, they worked harder, they persevered. By the time I reached adulthood, my family was certainly more comfortable economically. However, the expectation of life as hard, as requiring toil, was always ingrained in me. And also the understanding that we, as Italian Americans, are not scared of adversity or hard work. We push forward. We survive. This is a lesson that served me well, especially in the past few years. On Friday, April 14th, 2017, I unexpectedly lost my husband, my best friend, a kind, patient, and doting father to our 3 young children. On that following Monday, I woke up early, I grabbed his book bag, and I walked into NOIAW, the company he built from nothing. Once I assembled the staff and explained what had happened to the company's founder, I sat down at Ellen's desk and I took over as CEO. During that first year, I faced countless difficulties beyond the nearly debilitating grief that my children and I were experiencing. More than one person tried to take advantage of my inexperience, and others told me that I could never possibly run an ed tech business. But I kept my father's voice in my head. Each morning, whether I had slept or not, I stood up. I kept going. Also in that first year of running NOIAW, I reorganized our financials. I hired new talent. I drove profits. I grew the bottom line and fired anyone who said I couldn't do it. That was super fun. Today, ABC is not only still standing, but doing better than ever. Going back to that same conversation I had with my father, we eventually transitioned from sad topics to happier subjects, such as Alan's thriving business, the health of our 3 beautiful children. And my dad reacted very differently to the good news. Instead of a stoic complacency, this time he seemed happily surprised. He showed real emotion. He began to cry, tears of joy and happiness. And that was a very insightful moment for me, because his reactions, his happiness, showed me that the bad in life is to be expected and survived, endured with a quiet resolve. But the good is always surprising and not to be taken for granted. And just as my father was moved by the good amidst our hardships, so too do I marvel upon the beauty within my own tragic story. And there was beauty. On the day after my husband passed, I remember being in physical pain, as if I could feel my heart breaking. But I also know that I was not alone. I was surrounded by women. These women, many of whom are here today, at table 9, wiped my tears, picked me up off the floor, helped me to climb the stairs. I don't actually remember how I got my funeral dress on, the black dress I had recently worn to my sister-in-law's funeral, but I know that their hands helped to dress me. These women and their quiet show of support remain as a beacon of light in my darkest hours. So maybe, Aunt Marie, I did win an award for being an awesome Italian. If being Italian means recognizing the courage of my ancestors who faced tremendous adversity with grace and fortitude, and also maintain the capacity to cherish all the good that remains. Over these past few hard years, I was bolstered by generations of strong Italian men and women who modeled for me what it looks like to fight for survival and to keep going. Thank you.